Imagine being the first person to discover an entirely new life form, peering into a drop of water and seeing a universe of alien-looking creatures utterly invisible to the naked eye. For most of human history, this world was a secret, but then, in the 17th century, one man stumbled upon it and changed everything forever. His name was Antony van Leeuwenhoek, a Dutch cloth merchant with no formal scientific training. He wasn't looking to unravel the mysteries of life, he was simply fascinated by lenses. Using his skill as a tradesman, he ground glass into powerful magnifying instruments, microscopes, unlike anything anyone else had made. Through these tiny windows into the unknown, he first examined the fibres of cloth, then the wings of an insect. But curiosity pushed him further. What if he turned his lens onto things so ordinary no one would think to look? Water from a pond, scrapings from his own teeth, drops of blood. And that's when he saw them. Life in the 17th century was a mixture of wonder and dread, a time when the world seemed both larger and stranger than ever before. Telescopes revealed new planets and stars, yet plagues swept through cities without warning, killing tens of thousands. Fires reduced whole capitals to ash, while whispers of witches and omens haunted the countryside. Disease was explained by bad air, curses, or the will of God. And yet, at the same time, men like Galileo, Descartes, and Newton were quietly reshaping the very rules of nature. In candlelit rooms, scholars debated invisible forces, gravity, circulation, the soul, while ordinary people navigated a world full of uncertainty and superstition. To live, then, was to feel as though reality itself was cracking open, with unseen worlds, cosmic and microscopic, pressing against the fragile edges of human understanding. When René Descartes published Discourse on the Method in 1637, it was like striking a match in a darkened room. For centuries, truth had been handed down by authority, kings, priests, and ancient scholars, but Descartes suggested something unsettling, that certainty could only come from doubting everything, even one's own senses. His famous insistence, "I think, therefore I am," invited people to strip away tradition, superstition, and unquestioned dogma, leaving only the cold machinery of reason. To many, this was liberating, a way to see the world anew, yet there was something unsettling in it too. In the early 1600s, Galileo lifted a telescope to the sky and revealed moons orbiting Jupiter and the pockmarked surface of the moon. Suddenly, the universe felt alive, vast and astonishing. His discoveries proved that careful observation could uncover truths no one had imagined, and that the world held wonders waiting for those brave enough to look. In 1665, London fell silent under the shadow of plague. Death carts creaked through deserted streets, houses were marked with pleas of mercy, and the air itself was feared as poison. Families vanished overnight, leaving only shuttered windows and unanswered questions. The sickness came like a tide, and with it, the terrifying sense that invisible forces ruled life and death. In the bustling cities of the Netherlands, curiosity was a way of life. Trade ships brought rare plants, animals, and ideas from across the globe. Painters, merchants, and scholars alike measured, observed, and debated, turning everyday life into a laboratory for discovery. Knowledge, precision, and wonder flourished together, creating the perfect environment for a merchant to stumble upon an entirely invisible world. Leeuwenhoek looked through lenses of his own making and saw life nobody had ever imagined. Tiny creatures teemed in pond water, saliva, and even blood. Each drop became a universe, and each observation a revelation. However, it was his next revelation that would bring him to his knees. When Leeuwenhoek looked at his own saliva and teeth scrapings under the microscope, he couldn't believe what he saw. They were living inside him, the same squirming creatures. The realization was staggering. Human beings were not alone, but hosts to countless hidden lives. In that instant, the boundary between the self and other collapsed. Humanity itself was revealed as a vessel for unseen worlds. What the hell is a 17th century cloth merchant supposed to do with that information? He didn't stop at just seeing them. He became obsessed. He measured them, described their shapes, counted how fast they multiplied. He watched them die in vinegar, watched them thrive in rainwater. He found them in pepper infusions, in beer, in saliva. He even studied his own bodily fluids. Yes, all of them. His letters to the Royal Society were initially met with skepticism, but he persisted. Each observation confirmed a startling truth, that life existed in forms far smaller than the eye could perceive, invisible yet abundant. Gradually, the invisible world was accepted. Just as Newton described the laws of motion and Galileo revealed distant planets, Leeuwenhoek's discoveries opened a new frontier, microbiology. Suddenly, unseen life was no longer a fantasy. It was a fundamental part in understanding nature, disease, and the human body itself. From curiosity in a merchant's workshop, a science was born. Microbiology would later lead to antibiotics, vaccines, and public health, changing how humans confronted disease and decay. Leeuwenhoek's tiny creatures helped reshape the grand narrative of life.